100 of the greatest not the greatest podcast. 100 of the greatest science fiction movies podcast. It's me, your boy C, the host of most of the stuff right here on Paprika, man. Forgive me if I'm a little bit distracted. I'm here at the podcast studio, and I don't know what's happening, but it just smells like someone is funneling in the smells of smoked meat all throughout this building, and I want it. I walked in fully expecting to see like a pig on a spit with an apple in his mouth, but instead on the community table, they were just some chocolate chip cookies. I was highly disappointed, highly upset. I grabbed 2 cookies. Today, we're talking about a science fiction joint number 55. Yesterday, we talked about Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. That I paired it pretty much with Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Go ahead and check out both of those if you haven't. Those were number 56 and 55 respectively. So today we're moving on, man. We're getting closer and closer. Like I said, man, we're inching towards that halfway bit of business. And today is number 55. We're talking about Chronicle. Now let's talk about it, man. Here's the tagline. What are you capable of? We're going to call it a D-, man. As far as taglines go, not very impressed with it, but let's get into the synopsis of this. 3 high school students make an incredible discovery leading to their developing uncanny, I see what you did there, powers beyond their understanding. As they learn to control their abilities and use them to their advantage, their lives start to spin out of control, and their darker sides begin to take over. Ugh, you hate to see it. Let's get this out the way now, man. Chronicle is the best live-action adaptation of Akira that we are ever apt to get. Normally, if you've listened to me doing these podcasts for a while, that would be a statement that I'd be yelling into the microphone. But I'm here on a very rare time at the podcast studio during business hours, and other people are actually working, so I will behave. But yeah, man, this is the best live action Akira joint that we're ever going to get, I think. Even if they finally do a live action Akira, I don't think it's going to stand up to Chronicle. There's some shades of Ultimate Fantastic Four in here as well, with Reed Richards as the maker. Check that out if you're a fan of Marvel Comics. If you're not a fan of Marvel Comics, still check it out. It's Jonathan Hickman writing, so it's always good shit. If you haven't seen Chronicle, you are doing yourself a disservice. I say that a lot on this series because these are all generally pretty good movies, and I don't want you missing out on any of them. I'm in your corner. Group of kids, man, find a glowing crystal object in the woods, and it gives them powers. Boom, done and done. The main focus here is Dane DeHaan as Andrew, and Chronicle is still the best thing I've seen he's done in his career so far. That man had 3 movies bomb in 1 calendar year. Oof. You hate to see it, man. The odds are in your favor. At least one of those is going to do well, right? Nope. 3 that bombed in 1 year. Dane DeHaan, fire your agent. You too, Chloe Grace Moretz, while we're at it. Anyways. We get Michael B. Jordan in here, man, completely disrespected in this movie, but that's Hollywood for you. The interesting thing about this is the person that makes it to the end, played by Alex Russell, who's had by far the quietest career out of the 3 of them. But it's a movie about a kid with a shitty life is suddenly granted this windfall of powers and how it manifests and changes him. It's a pretty interesting watch. I think DeHaan is one of the many decent looking white guys in Hollywood that they tried to foist them onto us, like Jai Courtney and Sam Worthington, but where Courtney and Worthington were like hunks of the week. I can really buy Dane DeHaan leaning into the darker roles, and I think that's where he shines the most. Didn't work in Amazing Spider-Man 2 because nothing works in that movie. But he's the main villain in Lizzie's Story, the miniseries that came out last year. Apple, maybe Amazon? I forgot who did it. the dude can play dark characters well, and that's what this is. This is ultimately a dark character, I think. The movie's entertaining as hell. I wish I got a chance to see it when it was in theaters. I was out of the country at the time, rotting in a Turkish prison. This is the movie that put director Josh Trank on the map. So you can thank Chronicle for that shit Fantastic Four movie that we got. I should have bumped it down in the rankings just because he directed this. But the less said about the writer of this movie, the better. And that's it for number 55, Chronicle, man. We'll be back in 24 hours as we inch ever so closer to the halfway point of the 100 greatest sci-fi movies ever. Come on back in 24 hours, man. We'll be back at number 54. Until then, you all take it easy. Have a good one.